2026 meeting of Bethel Township Planning Board to order, 7:35 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with Section 3B, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, commonly known as Sunshine Law. Roll call.
Palmer. Jose Reyes.
Here.
Jeff Coletti.
Present.
Ken Shalay.
Here.
Jose Maderos.
Here.
Philip Bellin.
Here.
Grace Ann Kelly. Here. Brad Nelson.
Here.
Ryan Methinger.
Here.
Steve DiLorenzo. Danny McDonald.
Here.
Scott Wilhelm.
Here.
Tom Decker.
Here. Bryce Hilton.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment for agenda items. Can I have a motion, open the call.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Suzanne.
Yeah.
Please.
Just a question, lot 21, lot 1, that was dismissed in March, so now they've come before with a new application, just so I understand. And what's being determined complete is the new application that they submitted.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it, thank you.
And a public comment? Make motion close.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna do, complete determination for block 21 lot 1. The EM Railroad. New application number 2026-03. EFMSP. Okay.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Mr. Wilhelm, Mr. Decker, Ms. Chalet, public. For the record, my name is Mark Peck. I'm an attorney with the Florio Prucci Law Firm, here on behalf of the applicant EM Realty Group. And as the chairman noted, we're here for a completeness determination for the application we filed for preliminary and final site plan approval with use variance relief for the property located at 1005 through 1011 Route 173, and that is the block 21 lot 1 property. It's a 5.84 acre lot in your general commercial or GC zone district. We have received and reviewed Mr. Decker's updated April 27 completeness review, and I appreciate the quick turnaround from Mr. Decker. It seems that many of the issues that were outstanding have been resolved. Dismissing the prior application had a way of catching some attention, and we are dealing with the home that straddles the lot line. My understanding is a contractor has been retained and they're already submitting for the demo permits. But as far as Mr. Decker's letter goes, there were a couple of items on the preliminary checklist. The first was item 15, which is the 200-foot list. I did provide proof to Ms. Chalet and Mr. Decker that we have requested that. We sent that in on Friday with the check, and obviously we need that in advance of any public hearing. So we would request a waiver just for completeness purposes only. We haven't, obviously we just submitted the request, so we don't have that. Number 28, the architectural plans, we did provide those as well. And we will have an architect present to give testimony at the public hearing for any questions about like the roof height and things like that. We are requesting a waiver for item 34A. That's to map out the upstream tributaries. Our engineer has stated and affirmed that there are no upstream tributaries, so requesting a waiver from that feature, as well as from item 35, which is to show utility structures on site within 200 feet. Also requesting a waiver as we show the utilities at least on the site, which are existing. Then on the final checklist, again, there's 4 items, many of which are redundant. Number 11 or item 11, that again is the architectural plans which we provided. We'll have an architect giving testimony. Item 13 is a certification that all improvements are either installed or performance guarantees posted. We would ask that that be a condition of approval, should we be so fortunate. Item 16 is to show compliance with the growth share ordinance. Again, would request a completeness waiver on that. That would be a condition of approval should we get that far. We need to get the number from your assessor anyway, based on, whatever was ultimately approved. And then again, item 17 is the 200-foot list, which we've requested, so seeking a completeness waiver for that. Then there were two additional comments, the first being a confirmation of the building height, maybe some other dimensional stuff with the building. Again, we're going to have an architect present at the hearing who'll be able to testify as much as you would desire. And then again, as I indicated with that house, that was really the sticking point the last time. We are planning to demolish that. Demolition contractor's been retained. Permits either have been submitted for or they're about to be submitted for. There's currently 2 residences on the property. There's one that's completely within lot 1, and then there's that one. So even post demo, there'll still be 1 residential structure on the lot. And did reach out to the adjacent property owner, Ms. Patty Klukas. Again, last week, I had initially, before we knew we were going to demo, had reached out to her. Now that we know we're demoing, reached out, advised her that that was our plan. If she had any objections, please let me know. And also asking, her to confirm that we would have access to the property, of course, subject to a hold harmless, waiver of liability, anything like that agreement. So our guys can go on the property to demolish. Haven't heard from her, but I only reached out to her late last week. I think that is, and my client also actually inquired if Ms. Klukas would be willing to sell that adjacent property to him. So that's where we are. So I would ask that the waivers and completeness waivers that we've requested be granted and that we be scheduled for a public hearing.
I'm gonna have you make some comments because you've got letters going back and forth, so we could bring it to the text said, so you can.
We received some new information as recent as Friday this morning.
This morning.
Which generated the revised letter that we have in the past. With regards to those items that I agree with Mr. Peck with regards to the architectural plan, and I have no objection to the board granting the waivers for completeness purposes for the other items. So I would recommend that those items waived for completeness purposes. The other 2 comments. One was for the architectural plans. There is a dimension, 1 dimension on the plan. Unfortunately, it doesn't provide a dimension to the peak of the roof. Mr. Peck, the architect,
We'll get that in
if you can
advance.
get that to me in advance, it'll help
Sure.
eliminate them, because we want to make sure that there's no height variances required. And then lastly, again, with the home, my only question is, in order to pull the demo permit, does the adjacent property owner have to agree with that?
That's my question.
I don't know. I mean, that would be, I guess, whoever the issuing authority is with that. But I do know that EM Realty, the owner of Lot 1, they're the ones who have the lease with the tenant. They're the ones who collect the rent, maintain the property. The neighbor has nothing to do with it. And in fact, until this issue arose, never had any contact with them. But again, we're reaching out to make sure that.
And when does the lease expire for the tenant?
May, right? May.
Okay.
May 11th.
Sure.
Yeah,
So the house is partially on your land.
correct,
Partially on the neighbor's land,
correct.
but it's leased by the.
No one really knew that it was straddling, like however that came to be, we don't know. It was always assumed it was part of Lot 1 and it was always sold along. Yeah, it's on both, like how that happened, we can all speculate, don't know. But it's always been associated with Lot 1 and I guess whoever originally owned it. They're the ones who constructed it, and they've been renting it out ever since. So,
So that would be on the tax part, I would assume, for the dwellings. I just don't want us to, as a town board, be responsible for a house coming down, I mean, with the neighbors. That the town is held harmless also, in addition.
Is the house mainly on your land? Mainly on-
It's pretty much down.
Yeah,
right on the-
yeah. So we're investigating like maybe a lot line adjustment or something like that, but ultimately, the demo is just the easiest way to go.
So who were you reaching out to try and do this lot line adjustment with the?
Well, with the neighbor. Yeah, the owner of the adjacent property that shares, part of the building's footprint.
Okay.
But again, it's associated with lot one. They're the ones, again, who have the lease, who collect the rent, maintain the property, do all that.
So,
And I don't even know if they knew that there was this lot line straddling issue until,
All right, will that owner be here for the hearing?
I doubt it, but I'm trying to get some sort of written confirmation. Again, I wrote out.
Yeah,
you can get
written consent.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I reached out.
Yeah, we need some.
When you go to apply for the demolition permit, it's gonna be up to the officer to decide if they're going to issue it, and I think they might be seeking consent from you.
That may be, I mean, the contractor's handling the demo permit. I just found out those details this evening. But yeah, no, clearly we're gonna need some affirmative representation from the neighboring property owner, just to say we're not going on their property and blowing things up and,
also keep in mind that our building inspectors, CA, so don't give them too much credit.
Yeah.
They're not exactly
Yeah.
on top of things in the town, so they may just blindly sign it. But I would say that,
Yeah.
It would be in the applicant's best interest to get consent to
Yeah.
avoid future liability.
Yeah.
So,
and my suggestion was that even though I'm recommending it be deemed complete, that we get some kind of confirmation that the neighbor, either the house can take it down.
Right.
Or that the adjacent property owner has agreed in writing to that. Because otherwise, to start the hearing, you're not gonna know exactly all of the relief that's needed.
Not to mention, isn't there a possibility that we're just gonna go right down the same rabbit hole that we went through last time, where you needed to get some permission from that property owner, and you could never get that? Do they have a house on that property?
I don't know.
I believe it's all fun.
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe it's
I'm
all farm.
not terribly, I mean, Ms. Klukas, the owner of that property, she's very reasonable when I dealt with her, so I'm not anticipating any problems. Again, it's just, please allow our people to access your property for this limited purpose. And, obviously, if someone were to get injured on the property, we're going to disclaim any, liability on their call.
Would it behoove us to get or have you guys get a copy of their deed? Would that block them off, just to verify that? Because
Well, the survey would be the important document in there, you already have to say.
But-
Yeah, the survey
but their
shows it.
deed would have any sort of structures on
The neighboring deed.
the neighboring deed for the said property or the house on. We don't want to find out that, 50 years ago they made a deal. And there's something that's in a deed that has a joint custody of this house.
There's nothing that showed up in the title review.
You were reviewing your finals title.
When my guys bought it.
This is, because I believe that purchase happened 10, 15 years ago, not that long ago.
I don't know how long ago they bought it. My guys have had it for 3.
Yeah,
So, I mean, a lot of times, things are put on deeds. We as a board make sure that applicants put things on deeds so that they're there. If we get the latest copy of their deed, at least we as a town know there's nothing there.
We can pull that.
That's all.
Yeah, why don't you pull it?
We'll pull that. I'll provide a copy to Mr. Wilhelm.
Yeah.
Any other discussion?
I appreciate your effort, you know, with what you're trying to find out, but I just want to be sure. I do agree with liability with, Ken, to be sure. Is it enough said that the attorney is going to try to get a letter from the property owner, and then we deem it complete, and then something pops up later? Or there is deed and there are deed restrictions on things, and that pops up, but we're, you know, I know what complete, we're just saying that this is complete, but is it really?
Well,
That's my question.
Yeah, I
Is it really complete?
yeah, I think you could argue both sides, that it's complete and it's incomplete. It's definitely an issue for the public hearing. It's certainly a risk that the applicant would be taken, if they didn't have, if there were issues, so. I understand what you're saying, I think you could argue both sides, but I think it meets the checklist requirements. So I think it was kind of forced that be complete. But for the hearing, that's a legitimate issue. And for if you're not comfortable with what's being done because you think there's an issue relating to ownership and whether they're violating somebody else's property rights as the board, you can deny an application based upon that. I think that's more for the hearing.
Well, in that case, I would request, we hold things in abeyance and wait further research.
Right.
But even
Didn't
for
know.
complete, you're saying that with the checklist, would they satisfy
They
it?
satisfy.
This is kind of a unique situation.
And
They've satisfied the checklist requirement, but the future of that home really is what's gonna drive the
Mhm.
hearing, because if it gets demolished, okay, we get confirmation and everybody's on board with that. If it doesn't, then the only other way I see that you can remedy it is through a lot line adjustment, which means that they would have to amend their application. And the neighbor would have to be brought in as an applicant with that application.
Yeah, I think it'd be easier to get consent for her to just let us knock the building down than to become part of a thing. But again, I'll put it tomorrow morning, I'll put in the order for the last deed. And also I'll reach out to Ms. Klukas again and work on getting that certification. But, you know, subject to that, I'd ask that, you know, we be deemed complete and schedule the public hearing.
Mike, clarification, I think I can see it on this tiny little picture here, but if you're standing in the street looking at the property.
Mhm.
The building that's in question is the one all the way to the right.
If you're heading towards Clinton from Bloomsbury, so the subject property be on your left-hand side, you're standing in the street, it'll be on the eastern part of that property, the Clinton side as opposed to the Bloomsbury side.
And that's what looks like a house, the one kind of in the middle looks like a garage, if I remember, and the other one is also a house or something like that, or two residents in the
The one
garage.
that's strapped to the property line currently has an RV parking.
Right, yeah, okay, and are there people living in that house right now?
There's a man. Solo. And again, his lease is up, middle of next month. And he knows he's moving out, yeah.
Okay.
And apparently, you know, without much objection either.
Good.
It was a resistance or anything.
Okay. All right, with that, any other comments? Okay, I need a motion to deem the Amarillo application complete.
I'll make that motion.
A second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Guys? Abstentions?
I think there's two dates we need to work. Yeah, there's the public hearing date, but also, I know, the sidewalk, which is,
The sidewalk will be the Saturday prior to the meeting,
okay.
with the hearing date. And
So our next meeting is May 11th, which doesn't give us much time. as
I
far as-
wouldn't have time, yeah, that's.
Exactly.
that's-
So our next meeting, because of the holiday, isn't until June 8th. Which would then make the site walk June 6th.
Okay. And after that, just in case, do you have another meeting scheduled in June or?
June 22nd.
Okay, just because I might be overseas that first week in June.
So do we want to go ahead and say June 22nd?
we said,
June 22, okay with you?
okay,
Yeah, that's good. And that'll also give us time to work things out with
Maybe it has to be down.
The sidewalk.
June 20th.
June 20, perfect, that's perfect, thank
So,
you,
June 20th.
I appreciate
at 9
that.
a.m. Will be the sidewalk. June 20, June 20,
June
June,
20,
6:20.
Okay.
June 20th, yeah, at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.?
Will be the sidewalk. And June 22nd. Will be the hearing. At 7:30.
Can we need me for a second?
Gonna be,
You can think about it,
yeah,
we'll just. Pencil it in.
Yeah.
All right.
So June 20, 9 a.m.
When's the next available meeting?
June 6th, with the sidewalk being on June 8th.
No, June 8th meeting.
June 8th meeting, sidewalk the 6th, I'm sorry. He's just asking about another date. And I'll send a letter out Wednesday. With completeness and next act.
Perfect, perfect.
All the dates and stuff.
Oh, great, thanks, I was just putting it in my calendar. All right, well, thank you very much,
yeah, thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And then they're gonna take the next application.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we have the complete list review for block 3, lot 10, 132 County Road 579. Cindy, you got all that you sent out to do us, I think, everybody got that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we got a report from Tom. Tom, we wanna
Sure.
go over that? You need a copy of it?
Very popular. So, yes, this is an application for a new home. On 579, it's at the Sharp County edge entrance to Bloomsbury. The application originally came in. We recommended that it be deemed incomplete, it was deemed incomplete at the last board meeting. They have since provided additional information. One of the main things was that we noticed is they had the county right of way dimensioned incorrectly on the plan. And that drives a lot with regards to the variance you need and so forth, because setbacks, lot area, and everything is based on that. They have since submitted revised plans correcting the right of way. And we believe that the board has adequate information at this point that it can be deemed complete and scheduled for a public hearing.
Okay. So do I have a motion? It was complete.
So move.
Second,
Mr. McDonald,
Nelson. Brad Nelson.
thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Yeah. Okay, so.
Can I ask Tom one question, I'm just not about just for knowledge sake, so this is the first time I've heard of a county right of way on any plan that we've ever gone over, so, I know it's a county road, and therefore, but so what is that, how's that different than any other way?
So the county typically requires a wider right of way because county roads are more of a collector or arterial road. So they have the additional right of way to allow for any future widening, improvements or anything. So typical municipal right of way is 50 feet wide, 25 feet in the center. According to the tax map, this section of 579 is an 80-foot right of way, 40 feet from center line. So what they had shown
It's 40 total.
was, and actually they had it even, I think, smaller than that. I think they went with, by statute, it's a minimum of 33 foot wide on all roads. But over time, as lands are developed, additional right of way will be requested through board approvals and so forth. So at some point, it was determined to be a 40 foot from center line. And then that dramatically reduced the net lot area.
And that's where the setback start.
And that's where the setback starts from. It starts from right of way.
Gotcha. Oh, thank you.
All right.
That's it. Thank you.
So I get a feeling that June 8th is our next meeting.
Oh, wait, we don't, yes,
And
so
so,
maybe your next meeting, I already discussed this.
oh, okay, good.
So, and so June sixth would be your sidewalk.
Our side, is everybody okay with June 6th? Okay. We're-
Oh, there's been made a lot of this to work.
Oh, yeah.
That's only 2 weeks away.
Yeah, okay.
You say June 6th is sidewalk?
June 6th of the sidewalk, yes, and is everybody familiar with? So this is, you're going up Route 579, you make the hairpin turn.
Yeah.
That's the property.
Where's it? Yeah,
That's right.
From the map, I wasn't sure, is it right?
It's right, it is the turn.
It's a turn inside of that turn, so, okay, so I don't know what you're gonna do as far as parking.
And where's this driveway then?
So I would suggest that we meet up at the top. Along, along the road, right?
I thought we were just gonna go to Kenny Centers.
No, can't do that.
You're good, he's not home.
That's.
There's no place to walk on that, along the road.
I think you can, there's gotta be enough of a shoulder to pull out.
There are a couple spots above and below. Yeah, way below.
Well, way below, you're gonna be climbing.
Yeah, is there a private road or is it a driveway?
It's a driveway, you can put you can put a few cars in there.
I
And
had a
still-
few cars that collapsed recently,
The driveway collapse?
yeah, down the hill,
Oh,
On that property.
not this property,
across the street.
where you saying the park.
Oh, okay.
And be prepared for a climb.
Yes,
And it was like 3 days ago, there was a truck over trying to go there too. wasn't it? But
Yeah.
That seems to be a weekly.
Truck full of.
So
very dangerous spot, I wouldn't park anywhere near that turn.
And one of the variances on this, I believe is for steep slope, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for steep slope. It's also kind of unique in that the driveway accesses the county road, but it cuts through a little wedge of property that is actually in Alexandria Township.
Right.
So, that, I noted that in the letter.
Right, that's what the Alexandra.
They're going to need, driveway permit for the county, but I think they're also gonna need permit of a variance from Alexandria for, impervious for lot coverage, because the driveway is going to occupy more than 10% of that wedge.
And we know who the Alexandria engineer is, right?
We do.
Which this is why they get the top.
Did he
ones
just win?
today.
Huh?
Is he here tonight?
I wish I had.
So Alexandria is going to have to give us some sort of a.
Yeah, they have not applied anything to Alexandria yet, so that would be.
The condition of
That
approval.
would be an outside agency.
Correct. Okay.
There's not much sense in going to Alexandria until they know that the.
Well, that it's actually gonna be attached, yeah.
They know that. It's in the letter, I'll put it in the letter, put it on my notes.
Okay,
And we have to do this.
so we're all set?
You think a vote?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah, we did before I asked.
Oh,
Good, good.
But we've got to get this done. Got-
Oh, yeah, we have to, yeah. Thank you, Cindy.
So on the minutes, it says executive session.
I I put it that way because I guess in my mind, that's what it is, but I understand now that it is not.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'll strike that.
Does anybody have any concern? With the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the striking of the phrase executive session as written.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Abstain.
Well done, Cindy. Great minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Can I ask you a question before they come in?
sure.
You have to open the public.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Do I have a motion to open the
I'll
public?
make a motion to open to the public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Where did you say parking was gonna be? For the site walk?
It's gonna be horrendous, that's what he said.
Horrendous. I'm saying.
I would think that it would be on the upper side, once you've actually gone around the.
Left-hand turn.
And go up a little ways, kind of far from the shoulders.
On 579.
Say, that's just be fair and safe.
Yeah, there's a road just up, after you make the
Oh,
turn.
so there's a side road.
There's a side-
So you don't have to go right on the
Yes,
parking right
yes,
beside the
it's probably best not for. But we don't want the public to rely on what we're saying. I think everybody's got to kind of fend for themselves.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Okay.
All right, any other questions?
I have a question while Mr. Decker is here.
No.
I know, I can.
It was only this up. Well, only because they had a discussion.
These are.
They were special.
It's not, it's.
Okay. Do I have a motion to close public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who seconded that? Then you got the.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm sorry, who did it first? Yes,
Me and Grace.
yeah, I got you second.
Okay. All right,
I'm going to say.
okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. It could be a good sidewalk to have a family member drop you off.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah. Would be fine.
I had a triaxle over,
You know what, don't.
then make the turn from down, go over the hill. Yeah, I spent, it was, I was like eight. Mine not 2 versus.
Yeah, that'll be. Should we get a we can, right, yeah.
So. Hold down. Want to get that done? Yeah.
Monica, we admonish you not to listen to the tapes from when you left the room to when you come back.
No.
I'll try. I'll skip it.
Thank you. Roll. Right. Making a motion to open to the public comment.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any comments, Scott?
Yes. I have a question, Barbara Corcoran, 507 Charleston. I have a question for Mr. Deck. The previous block 21, lot 1, had in the previous application a Highlands determination, right?
Correct.
Okay, normally these determination, they go in the DP bulletin for comments and things like that, or not?
No.
This kind of.
For an exemption, the exemption gets issued and we're authorized as the township.
It's not a HUD, it's not a HAP, it's not, okay.
Use exemption for 125%.
So it is a HUD,
It's an exemption.
yeah.
That we can.
Number 4 is HUD. It's a HUD, yeah, exactly. Those normally, they are documented in DP bulletin. I always see them.
Our responsibility for that is as the designee reviewer. We issue the the Highlands exemption, and then our obligation is to provide a copy of the exemption to the Highlands Council within a certain number of days, and then what they do with it after that.
They send it to the bulletin, which opens for public comment. Just the process.
He's just saying
That's not-
we're
that's where-
Yeah, you're clear. It depends on the, okay, I got it.
That's-
It's just the process.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nothing else? Any further vote?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. I don't see anybody on Zoom.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else.
Yeah, nobody on Zoom, which is this story. Alright, so, Mayor did send me a text, he's stuck at museum on a leaking roof. So he was not able to make one. On anything?
no.
Monica, your report?
First I'll start with, the fact that the MLUL book was updated, so it's time we have to get another round of books. So it's $30 per each individual book. We need 15 for the board, or 14 for the board, would be $420. So I don't know if you need to vote or whatever.
It's,
I thought we voted last week, didn't we?
well, no, because I said that, I thought we had the book and.
Oh.
Then it was the answer that we didn't have any book available, there is any book available, so. I want to keep us on current with it, and when we got, as we said, pretty much every 3 or 4 years we would get books. So that being said, I mean, motion to purchase, the 14, that includes one for the office for your. 14 books at a total of, and estimated cost, because it's probably shipping on that at $420. Want to make that motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
My only question is, do you want to order a couple extra in case there are changes or something?
Every 3 years, I mean, we
Changes.
as far as board members go, but
Well, board members.
if board members leave, they should return it.
Yeah,
Okay.
So,
You know, Jordan, we can make it probably too.
yeah, we can get a couple, but. In the past, I've seen quite a few books left over that didn't get tossed, so I think it's pretty much a waste.
Yeah, but I would say just.
And not many board members bring this, you know. As of meeting. There is a couple, but everyone out. How many?
That's yellow, just check.
It is interesting because.
Yeah.
It has,
Very
it
handy.
has everything. Yep. That we really work with in parents.
It's what we rule.
Yeah.
But,
So if there's questions or concerns, the answer really is in. Without going to the printed book.
The other thing is, April 30th is coming around very quickly, financial disclosures, if anybody, I have not gotten. The clerk hasn't given me my ding list yet, but I know this is the last meeting prior to that deadline. So I want everybody to be aware, if you have not done it, please do it.
Thursday. So Thursday, 3 more days.
Well, you don't have a Thursday meeting.
We don't?
No, so it is, today's the 5th.
She gets notified.
She'll let me know if it's not done, for sure.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow, because Anita does that, so she'll be in tomorrow.
Okay. I know it's easy.
It's easy as it is, and you've already done it.
Yes,
very easy then,
huh?
Yeah, and I will say, if anyone has trouble signing on, Chris can send you a temporary password, or tell you what your password is across previous year.
Yeah, and copy Anita, so you go in, you can do deputy clerk and clerk, both of them. One or the other will get back to you. And Anita's here Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's her priority, but if she's not here, Chris will respond. The last thing is, I went to the symposium and the classes this weekend, and I found it. I didn't learn as much as I thought I would have about affordable housing, other than when we, and Michael Ogrodnik was there, and the very big thing that I got from him was understanding that when affordable housing, or we do our housing element, we are opening the land so it's available for development, does not mean that it will be developed, one. Number two, just because a developer comes in and wants to do it and we have to approve it, doesn't mean that they'll get DPW, they won't get construction, they won't get Highlands, they won't get other things. It is just that. So in my head, that was a big flip. I just thought that we were approving. So for me, that was the only thing out of the affordable housing that I thought was relevant. But with regard to everything else, it was very interesting for me. I think that the big thing is understanding how much of a judicial body this is, a quasi judicial body. And there was a judge who spoke, and he talked about the importance of the resolution, and that the resolution is just not the decision. It tells the story of how you arrived there. What are the exhibits? What was the deliberation? What were the questions? Like it brings that story to life. And then it shows that there was deliberation. It wasn't, handled frivolous. And that the transcript and or the meeting minutes are the evidence, or what they look to. The resolution is the decision, and the transcripts are what led up to it, and it's very important. I discussed this with Scott, that they mentioned that every time we have a hearing, we're supposed to be swearing in our professionals, even though we swear them in January, that each hearing they should be sworn in separately, which was interesting. I didn't think about. And really looking at how important it is to follow process and procedure. And the judge really spoke to the fact that all the side conversations that he hears that go into transcripts, because it's not just our meeting minutes, but these are, if they need to be transcribed, the audio, the side conversations are caught, and there's things that are said. And the other big thing for me, and then I'll stop here, is that saying that we're setting a precedent is probably one of the single worst thing that can be said during a hearing, is because each and every application stands alone. And each property has its unique properties that you might approve it in one and not in another for very specific reasons. And that is one of the single most thing that the judge says is an issue when he is reviewing records, is that the board is showing the predisposition to looking at an application in a set of precedent instead of individually. So those were my big takeaways.
That's a very good point, because in the law, every piece of real estate is unique, no two pieces, and it's true, no two pieces of real estate are exactly alike. So I think that's probably an excellent point that he made, that you're not setting a precedent because every single application is different. Because the piece of land is different. No two pieces of land are the same. So I think that's interesting. On the issue of swearing the professionals, I understand the argument behind it. I also maybe don't necessarily agree. In my view, the professionals like the engineer and the planner, they're not giving testimony, in my view, on the application. They're providing commentary and professional advice to the governing body. So I do it a little bit differently, but I don't see any harm in it. And if that's something that you learned that a judge is suggesting, I don't see any downside to it, but.
But is that just for a meeting and has a hearing, or?
As a hearing.
Yeah. And I have been sworn in at each meeting.
I mean, I could see it as you are testifying, because we're taking, your comment as a. So.
It's informative. I enjoyed it. And now I'm qualified for another 5 years. Not that the role requires it, but it's nice to have.
That's good.
And only one other thing is that we got the annual report from New Jersey Highlands Water Protection and Planning Council, their annual report. So I'll be sending that out to each of you. If you want to download it, print it, read it, review it. Just letting you know I received it. That's it.
Here. Anybody else?
I had that one issue. There's a farmer on Charlestown Road that has an obvious junkyard, right off the road. I don't know why we couldn't see it before, but all of a sudden you can see it. Maybe some trees fell or something. So I'd like us to ask Sarah to take a look at that, please. It's the Milo Farm.
Well, this, I think this has come up before, this is just a reminder. This is not the executive branch of government, the zoning officer and zoning enforcement officers. Come under the executive branch, under the mayor, are the ones who are supposed to enforce the town ordinances. This is a quasi judicial body whose jurisdiction is derived only from the MULL to consider applications for development and zoning appeals, basically.
Yeah.
So enforcement is an issue that if Mr. Vice Chairman wants to discuss with Ms. Sarah, that's one thing, but it's really not for the board to do.
Off the carrot.
Well, but it's private citizen, something.
Absolutely.
Or I could actually ask a member of the township committee.
Yes.
To do what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll be not paying for it.
Absolutely. I was ready for you to do that.
Anybody else have anything? No? Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
You know, I wonder how it is, so when that meeting had expired, I think we really don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, like, you know, a lot of them don't really speak like. And,
As soon as I